Hello everybody and welcome to a delightful late April day. It's a little breezy, so there may be some wind noise as we do this, but otherwise it's a gorgeous day, some filtered sunshine right now, and this is Marvin Gardens April 2021. So let's get started, shall we? And we can start by taking a little walk over here by the greenhouse and to the herb garden. I guess I should say herb garden number 1, and you'll see why in a bit. But the garlic chives are doing fine. They are beginning to hide cocoa again already. And that's parsley that wintered over and came up. German winter thyme that also wintered over and came up. Along the back we think are pond irises, and I planted a couple of rows of scallions here in front, and then these are our chives that of course wintered over and came in, and that vacancy there will be for basil when it's ready to come out. But let's head over to bed number 1. You can probably hear the breeze, and boy, a lot has happened, of course, in the month. It's almost every month that I say what a difference a month makes, but here we are again. Anyway, down here we got a row of radishes and a row of turnips and another row of turnips and 2 rows of 2 varieties of carrots, which are just starting to come up. I don't know if you can see that or not, but they're almost like blades of grass at this point. And I'm going to come around here to the other side and show you the rest of this stuff around here, because I want to be on this side. And so what we've got here is all our brassicas in. They did great underneath the lights, and so that's cauliflower, 1 variety, 2 varieties, 3 varieties of cauliflower, some broccoli, cabbage, and also Brussels sprouts. Now, I told you about herb bed number 1 because I've decided to have this be the secondary herb garden, where Frankie is there. So we transplanted some of the chives over here, and some of the garlic chives, and that's a little bit of the parsley with actually some clover growing in there. I'll need to get rid of that. This is sage that wintered over in the greenhouse. Looks pretty darn good, as does the rosemary, which also wintered over in the greenhouse, and the winter thyme, which did as well. So some of the herbs don't do as well over there on the side of the greenhouse because I think because it doesn't quite get enough light. So that's why I decided to do some alternate planting over here. Here's the pet memorial area, which is a little bit cleaned out, but I've got a problem with these pond irises overtaking everything, so hopefully I can deal with that later. Now, good news on the wet front is that it's not wet out there. I think we've had plenty of rain, but we haven't had so much rain that we got puddles, and although they, quote unquote, are saying that we need more rain, not in my book. Look at this, the brand new, unfortunately I think it might be made by the same people, but it looks like it's a little more well designed. But anyway, this is the grow house. It's got screened doors on either end, which is different than the other one, and it doesn't require guy wires to keep it up, so that's good. up in plenty of time for what's going to be grown in there, which is melons. So looking forward to that. The melons are started. Now, this bed is fully planted. You'll see onions here, and then those tall ones are scallions, and this couple of rows here are leeks, and then the rest are onions. We have two varieties going, and as usual in April, they're growing very slowly, but they will take off when the weather starts getting warmer. Now, this bed is basically bed number 3, kind of vacant except for this end right here, and we got some very nice lettuce seedlings going, which also did very well in the under the lights inside. And down here you can just barely see maybe something that looks like blades of grass, and that is spinach just beginning to come in. This bed has not been planted with anything. We've got a couple of volunteer pond irises, look like they're coming up. And this bed is showing nothing. Well, I'm not making a liar out of myself. It's we do have another row of leeks planted here at the very end. Everything else is just volunteers that's coming up, some of which are weeds, some of which might be a few stray garlic plants. And so let's take you for a change outside to the asparagus patch. And maybe this would be a good time for that, since I'm mishandling the gate and the camera and everything else. But the news is hopefully you can see that there's a bunch of asparagus shoots coming up. Some taller than others, but we've got a good dozen or so that are about ready to be harvested, and we already got about a half dozen, so that's pretty good, and we're hoping to see a lot more. They started coming up a little bit later than I thought they were going to, but they are still the first harvested crop of 2021. So that's pretty good. And they were delicious, by the way. Already been eaten. So, there's really not much else to show you, except for maybe we should show you what's going on inside, because it is pretty active in there. And a quick look under the lights, you can see we're very busy still. There's tomatoes back there, okra in the foreground, along with some chamomile, which we're trying for the first time this year. And back in the back, we've got straw flowers and status. Both those are new this year. Down on the bottom level, you can see squash and melons. 2 full trays coming up and looking fine. And then over here we've got some dill in the front. Some, I don't know what that is in the middle. Let me see what that, it looks like cilantro in the middle, and basil in the back, and then a full tray of various varieties of peppers. The other pepper variety is outside. So let's go back outside. There's Cassie. She's active as always, liking to be out here in the garden. Beyond that, Jolie, and of course, my buddy, Mr. Franklin. Good boy. So everyone's here except the French ballerina, which she's out, I think, mowing in the back in the enchanted forest. And of the drone footage I have, some of it is a couple of overpasses made at the beginning of April and at the end of April, and hopefully it shows how things change over the month of April. And if it worked, which I don't know yet because I haven't looked at it, that'll be fun. Now, our water features have not been quote-unquote opened yet, but that's soon to happen, and I'm going to try to slip out of the gate here without letting any four-legged creatures escape, and so I can just show you how the pond is happening. And you might have just seen some frogs jumping. There's lots of them around, and there's actually a little green frog right there, which we can probably get pretty close to because green frogs are pretty brave when you get right down to it. Not like the bullfrogs. The bullfrogs are very skittish. But anyway, you can see that the pond is greening up some more. Certainly far from being at its peak, but adjusted the rocks and the waterfall a little bit, and you can see that the plants that wintered over are coming back up, including some of these that we have in sort of the pond plant holding area. But pretty much that's going to do it. The fruit trees, which have been pruned, are already past their peak bloom, and so this is the pear tree, as you may recall. Then we got nectarine. I think this is nectarine. I can never remember because we haven't had any fruit off of them, that's why. And this one's peach. So, golly, did I show you inside? If not, we'll show you inside. You can come back. But if we did already, then never mind. Sometimes things slip my mind. Wait a minute. I'm coming in. You're not going out. All right, so I think that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to do it. April 2021. All kind of things are happening. Gorgeous day today. We got up in the mid 80s. It's overcast and breezy now. Supposed to get some rain later, but there is one other thing I want to show you, and that's just what's going on in the inside of the greenhouse. And we were forced to bring some stuff out here because we ran out of room under the lights for everything that we wanted to get planted. So here you can see some peppers and eggplant, some ornamental grass that Vanina is getting going here, and I got a flat of marigolds, which I think we're going to put in the planters on the fences, and that's a full tray of sunflowers, mammoth sunflowers. Haven't decided exactly where they're going to go. And the poinsettia, which was out here all last year, went inside. I tried to get it turned red with mixed results, but now it's back out here and getting ready for the frost safe date before I actually put it somewhere. But now that's it. And like I said, absolutely gorgeous day. April can be a fickle month. We did not get any April snow. We had some cool fluctuating temperatures, but all in all, it's been pretty good and pretty spring-like. and we've already started mowing, and of course the weeds are coming up. We got stuff in the ground and stuff going on inside. By next month, pretty much everything will be planted for the first round anyway, and it's going to be even more exciting. But April in general is a pretty good month, and this one was no exception. So that's going to do it from Marvin Gardens, April 2021, and we'll see you next time in May. Bye, y'all.